Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to episode 39 of TW's AEW Save for the Sickos. Quite proud that it's 39 episodes, but let's be honest, let's get to 139. The plan is for this save to just keep going and going and going, get us to mental levels. So last episode we basically covered Dynasty, so the good thing is in the pay-per-view cycle means there is some storylines that reset. We get some brand new stuff. I'll be finishing off the whole Ricochet with the championship today, whether he wins or not, we'll see it in our main event. But we'll start planning towards obviously Sting's tribute show, which is in 11 days in game, and of course the end of May we enter Double or Nothing time. I'll give a wee spoiler for the future. I was looking through the titles that have been obviously retired. I decided to purchase the Battle of Los Angeles, that tournament trophy, so I thought we'll do that. I don't know the ins and outs, the whole stuff with the situation with PWG. I think I've read small things. So basically what I've done is bought the title. There will be an AEW Battle of Los Angeles, which will be a 2-night tournament in August. So that'll be just after All Out and and after the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, because AEW love a tournament. And we'll sign Super Dragon. We'll mostly assign him to Ring of Honor, but we'll give him an appearance on the show as well. The other thing I was thinking is obviously we're closing into the ending of the women's tournament as well. Obviously I can't keep every woman on the roster, but we've got plenty of development territories we can send them to and utilise who we need to. But looking forward to obviously ending the tournament. Hopefully they get a good skill boost, the development benefits from it, but at the same time we can start them working on more storylines for not just the women's division, but probably a neglected undercard as well. But I felt like it was a necessary sacrifice for the position that I want to take the company, which is, as much as I aim for 100 rated matches, I say for the challenge purpose, how class would it be to do that with a couple of women's matches as well? So there's a lot of stuff that I'm aiming towards, but we have to remember it's still very early days. We're not even a big company yet, so plenty of time to get there. So moving on to this show, I think it's only 14 segments. I think it is mostly matches. I think there's maybe only 4 segments, but some of them do run long. But they do lead into where we're building in the next couple of weeks. So sit back, relax and enjoy some AEW Dynamite, and then of course followed by Collision, Rampage and Shockwave. So we're back at the Accesso Showwear Centre. I can't even remember what part of the world that is in the US, but we're there anyway. We start off with a promo from Darby Allin. He says, "I'm hurting, I'm beaten up, and I went through hell last Sunday," and obviously talking about the matchup with him and Hangman Adam Page. "But I must put all that pain aside because in less than 2 weeks, this company, the world, we all show tribute to the legend, the icon that was Sting. Sting meant the world to me. He taught me so much. He respected me so much. But not only was he a great mentor, but he was a great friend. So in his honour, I must fight at the tribute show. So what I'm here to find out is who's going to step up and face me." This leads to your EVPs arriving to the ramp and then heading to the ring, of course, and Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. So what do they say about it? Let's see if I can get it to come up. "I think you know exactly why we're both here. Sting's final match in AEW was against us, and you both ruined that night for us. So why don't we just ruin your night tonight so you don't even make it to that show?" In true Darby Allin fashion, he says, "Oh yeah, let's see you try." He tries to battle both before he starts getting beaten down by the two of them. Then we hear "You Think You Know Me." That hits. Adam Copeland makes his return. He runs to the ring. He ducks Nick Jackson. He hits the spear. He then ducks. He hits the spear on Matt Jackson. He then ducks a Nick Jackson attempt to hit him. And then he spears him. So Matthew's down. Nicholas is down. Adam Copeland has returned to save Darby Allin. So why is Adam back? Well, I'll explain that in future episodes. I obviously just wanted to have the return tonight. But basically, I feel like we obviously for the tribute match, we're going to go Darby Allin, Adam Copeland against the Young Bucks. Obviously, it's a 3-segment special here, so it was quite a bit of time. 68 for the Darby promo, 66 for the Young Bucks, and then 66 for Adam Copeland making the save. Gives us a 67 overall. But straight to in-ring action, it was a decent matchup that saw the champion Mariah May defeat Riho in 10:09 with the reverse bulldog. This match was part of the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix Group C. 66 overall, pretty similar in terms of in-ring performances. The likes of Rampage and especially Shockwave are just going to be getting the rest of those matches out of the way. The matches where neither can win, the group, but it's a case of just getting their development time. But the main eventers for the women's division will be predominantly on televised shows. Next up, decent matchup that saw Dr. Britt Baker DMD defeat Megan Bayne in 7:38 by submission. This was designed to tell a story. In Group D, I actually was tempted to put Megan over, but Britt did not want to do the job, and I felt like, alright, we'll build Megan Bayne up a little bit more. But 50 overall, Britt still suffers from extremely poor form. We then had an Orange Cassidy title celebration. He gives us the thumbs up and he says, "We tried a little, and it was great. He's a champion. Brilliant. We have 2 wee bits of pyro going off, and we have 1 balloon hits the ring in true Orange Cassidy fashion. The new number 1 contender Swerve is in the ring, his music plays. And he says, nah man, this is not what we are going to do here. We can't have a champion around here that is a complete joke. You've got lucky against me before, Orange Cassidy, but look at me now, I'm the most dangerous man in AEW, and I will happily break your arm and take that title. 5 weeks time, Double or Nothing, that title will be mine, because whose house? Swerve's house." And the crowd go a bit mental. So obviously setting up for Double or Nothing, Orange Cassidy, Swerve Strickland, 76. Can I just say, by the way, Orange Cassidy at 97 here for just working the crowd. So I'm absolutely going to abuse that going forward. And Swerve's promos on list 60, so we get the 76 overall. So it's a shame, but Orange Cassidy, at least in terms of segments, is working. We then moved on to the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix, Group B. We had a decent wild brawl here that saw Athena defeat Anna Jay in 8:37 with the O-Face. The wild brawl is always going to suit Athena, and that's why we get a good 64 here. Anna Jay, she's got a long way to go, a long way to develop, but a lot of people are still high on her when I get feedback from the veterans, so hopefully we can get her to where we want her to be. But Athena looking good to get to the final. Now we're hitting it with segments. Good. We hear from Will Ospreay, he's in the ring alongside the remarkable Renee Paquette, and he just says to Renee, "Sunday was not a particularly great night for me. Losing to Swerve, albeit via Nana's interference, wasn't great, but I can't use that as an excuse. I believe I'm an elite talent, and I've got to start showing that. I have a plan. I have to show yous that I am on another level, bruv." So it's basically him accepting he took the loss to Swerve, but shows he needs to get to that level. I have an idea where I want to take him, but it's going to take a few weeks. But overall, 83, great stuff from the promo side of Will Ospreay. We then moved on to the Briscoes Tag Team Cup, and it was had some good wrestling and a decent action from the crowd as the Tag Team Champions, the Kings of the Black Throne, defeat the Acclaimed in 8:53 when Malachi Black pinned Max Caster with Dante's Inferno. In ring work, Brody King head and shoulders above the rest with 77. You'll love to see it. And the champs pick up the win in a 70 rated matchup. Good stuff there, really poor stuff. Max Caster compared to the rest of them. Then had a small report by Excalibur talking about obviously MJF suffering that kayfabe injury against Daniel Garcia, but it just says that he'll be out for an undisclosed amount of time, and we just basically show him getting stretchered out. So 55 for that one. He's fine, by the way. He's just been sent home for 2 weeks. We try to improve his morale, but that didn't go well. And about had some good wrestling, but not a lot of heat. Hikaru Shida defeated Mi Saruga in 8:31 with the Falcon Arrow. I made this steal the show because I felt like maybe Mi would suffer with her popularity here, but both of them would be able to put a good match together, and that's certainly shown with the 70. Crowd weren't so into it with the 34, and I think I would lose a few points for both being baby faces, but overall, I'd say that's very successful, and Shida is looking to threaten that division as well. Of course, remember, any roundups will be at the end of the episode. Then I had some words from John Moxley of the Death Riders, Bryan Danielson, and Saturday Night. "You went as someone who loved and respected you, turned against you because you turned against them. You lost faith in Wheeler Yuta. You stopped believing in Wheeler Yuta. But you know what I never did? I did, But you know what? I never did. And he never stopped believing in Wheeler Yuta. I believe in this man. I believe this man can be a top talent here in AEW. And I believe I can help him put the tools together to make your life a living hell." So speaking basically as a mouthpiece for Yuta, who is underwhelming, but hopefully we can get him to a good level because I think it's plain obvious we're going to try and have a banger of a matchup at one point between Yuta and Bryan Danielson, but that'll build up over time, and that was a 66 segment. Obviously, that's pretty much confirming Yuta to the Death Riders. A good few months too late. In the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix Group A, Tony Storm in a decent matchup defeated Tay Melo in 907 with Strong Zero. 61 overall, Tony does good stuff with the 70. Tay's not had a great push for me, admittedly. Tony's gimmick will sort at one point, but she'll stay timeless for just now. I believe that puts us to our main event, possibly, for the International Championship. And it does. The bout had some superb wrestling and good heat. Konosuke Takeshita defeats Ricochet in 22-14 with the Javelin Kick. It's the 5th defence of the AEW International title. This match couldn't take place at the pay-per-view because Takeshita was injured, so we had it on this episode of Dynamite. Nice wee cheap way to make sure we gain pop. But 83 for the wrestling, 56 for the crowd, 81 for the segment. The storyline continues, gains heat, but ends with this segment. So obviously Takeshita will look forward to future challenges for the belt. 77 Ricochet, 88 Takeshita, and there was times the lack of psychology and display, so that probably could have been about an 84 and 85. But overall, it should do the job with the Will Ospreay promo. We should be looking at maybe about an 80. Bang on. That's when you start knowing what works and what doesn't. We gain popularity in 26 regions, but yeah, a lot happier with that one, and we've already got, as I say, a few matches hinted at or set up for future events. Obviously, the first match for the Sting show, and one of your main matches for Double or Nothing. So we'll take that as a positive. A lot more darker green, which is good. Any locker room incidents before Rampage? There is none. I'll go book Rampage, and hopefully this time I remember to recap it. So quickly to round up Rampage, that show had 6,000 in attendance. That's pretty good. Happy with that. Again, just a Rampage covering the probably the lesser matches within the women's tournament as we're getting near to the end of it. After, as I say, the tournament concludes, you'll probably see more development stuff here. But we had Fujimoto in our final matchup defeat Takuma Roha, which is a 53. We had a promo from Jack Perry with Rhino being very intimidating in the background. It was a 52. Stellar matchup that saw Mayu Yamashita defeat Izumi in a 70. Happy with that. We had some words from Dutch and Vincent, which was a 43. Again, one of their matches coming up soon, probably on Shockwave. Sarii defeated Arisa Nakajima, which was a 51. We had Serena Deeb go over Saru Anoi, which was a 47. And in our main event, Masha Slamovich continued her impressive run, defeating Diona Purrazzo in a 60. After the matchup, we had some words from Diona and her faction, just saying when she's gone on maternity leave, expect to see Megan Bayne and Taya Valkyrie take over. So pretty decent stuff. Happy with that one. As I say, we're getting kind of the last couple of people getting the last 2 or 3 matches out of the way. I expect the tournament should be done maybe 2 weeks before Double or Nothing, and then I can decide how I'm going to lay out the final. I think it is probably going to be maybe either a fatal 4-way with the 4 group winners, or a semi-final into a final. Yet to decide, but we've got time. But anyway, that was Rampage. Time to jump over to what we've booked now, which is Collision. So opening up Collision at the Elbin Centre, and we had the remarkable Renee Paquette in the ring, and she is interviewing the man who debuted at Dynasty, and it is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. So just as a few words to Renee, just said it's about time the phenomenal one showed up here in AEW. You could argue I was one of the forefathers of this company happening, as before Kenny Omega and the Bucks were a thing. They all ran about in a Bullet Club under my leadership before, of course, it was Kenny Omega who attacked me. So I found it very fitting that I decided on the first night to interrupt Kenny Omega. And I believe, it's going to be interesting to see where Kenny's at now. I know I'm a bit older now, but I still believe I have the talent, and I think that Continental Championship could look very good around my waist. So we're building up to Kenny versus AJ. A leader storyline has started with this segment, and the segment was a 71. Next up, we had a bout that had some good heat and decent wrestling, as Daniel Garcia defeated Shelton Benjamin in 12:09 by pinfall. I made this the Steal the Show matchup of the evening, as Garcia makes defence number 4 of the TNT Championship. 64 for the wrestling, 55 crowd, 67 for the segment overall. Garcia with a good 74. Sadly, Shelton was off his game, but a good impressive title defence for the TNT champion. This led to a little promo from Garcia after the matchup, and he just says, "This is another piece of evidence that showcases what I'm going to bring to this TNT Championship. Good matches, good competition against great opposition. I know that all this will make me a far better wrestler, a far better competitor. So it stands, in 8 days, open contract, who's going to step up next to face me for the TNT Championship." So a 63 for the promo. I genuinely at this point don't know who's going to face him, but we'll see what kind of matchup we can put together in that for the Sting Tribute show. So good stuff from Garcia. A decent matchup. Thunder Rosa defeats Deonna Purrazzo in 6:53 with La Rosa. This was in Group C. Obviously just getting Deonna's last match he's over and done with. And as I say, we'll just let her put people over. Overall a 58. Deonna with a better performance here, but we were booking her strong before the pregnancy was announced. So as I say, we should just do the honours before she takes maternity leave. Next up, it was some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Io Shirai defeated Thekla in 10:59 by moonsault press. This was in Group C as well. A 66 for the wrestling, a 74 segment overall. Io Shirai bringing 85s. She's just been outstanding in this save so far. Then had a little promo here from the grizzled young veterans. It's mostly James Drake that's talking. He just says, "I am James Drake, this is Zach Gibson, and together we are the grizzled young veterans. Now you may be wondering why we've not been in action, and the truth is I have a dislocated shoulder, but never fear, I will be back in early May, and we will have all our matches in the tournament completed before Double or Nothing, and where we will win the Briscoes Tag Team Cup. So remember to grit your teeth." So just probably explaining obviously why they've not really had many matches. Drake's obviously had that injury happen in one of his independent bookings, and the promo itself is a 53, but as I say, once we fully complete the women's tournament, it will be like properly hammer on the men's tag just to get that done for Double or Nothing as well. I feel like because there were so many women's matches that had to take priority. Back into the women's tournament, it was the bout that had some decent wrestling, but not a lot of heat. Serena Deeb defeats Max the Impaler in 6:21 by submission. Made it storytelling because obviously you've got the monster that is Max the Impaler against the technician that is Serena Deeb, and we'll just say she managed to put the Serenity Lock in for the win. So 41, sadly, both are deemed pre-show workers, which is the same as Serena, but she picks up the important 3 points. Then had a little segment backstage. We've got Sky Blue, who sees Mercedes Moné approach her. She says, "Sky, you were a great opponent on Sunday night, and I'm really intrigued by your potential. I also see you have an upcoming match in the tournament against Toni Storm that I could really do with you winning." Now, people would naturally think, oh, she just wants to use you to help her in the tournament. It's not that. Long term, this could be an alliance, and together we could accomplish great things together. So, a 47 there. I'll give this one away, but mentorship versus protege, I felt like, let's actually put these together. So, but we do have Tony versus Sky coming up, so we'll see what Mercedes thinks of that one. But 47, nonetheless. Little segment now with Renee Paquette alongside Sami Zayn, and someone pops up. So Sami, a good win over Claudio Castagnoli at Dynasty, but what are your thoughts on Wheeler Yuta's defection to join the Death Raiders? Sami says, yes, it was a good win over a game opponent in Claudio, but yeah, I just can't stop thinking of what Brian went through, and as well for Yuta. Well, then Jay White steps in, he interrupts and says, well, what do we have here, Mr. Sami Zayn? I believe we've never really been formally introduced, so let me introduce myself. I am King Switch, leader of the Bang Bang Gang, Switchblade Jay White, and I see you've injected yourself into where the best wrestle. Now I see you beat Claudio from Moxley and his little crew, but do you know what I think? I think you can't hang with the Switchblade even, and that your tail will be back behind your legs when you move back over to that other side where you came from. Sami takes a bit of offence to this one and says, oh, is that so? Well, how about this? Next Saturday night, Sting Tribute show, let's do it for the stinger. So I tried to make it as close to what Jay White would say. You know, he's got that wee awkward kind of way that he does his promos, which I actually quite enjoy. But basically here, 77, effectively meaning at that Sting tribute show, Jay White, Sami Zayn. So Bang Bang Gang versus versus Brian's group, which now of course is just Sami and Brian. Faction warfare, of course. Next up in the Super Shane Elite Grand Prix Group D, Chris Statlander defeated Marina Shafir in 8:29 with Arena 451. 59 overall. I do think this would be a clash of styles. Powerhouse versus, not even technician, but mixed martial artist, and of course you have to take into account as well both of them being heels. So it is a 59, it's okay, and 3 points for Stat. Then had a little promo here with Adam Cole, baby. And he says, so sadly Sunday, I couldn't get the job done, but it's okay. Together, the Undisputed Kingdom still remains the most complete trio in this company. So myself alongside Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, we want to prove that no one else is on our level. So in 8 days' time at the Sting Tribute Show, we are calling out Mark Briscoe and FTR, and we want you to put the Trios Championship on the line. Because you're a makeshift alliance, because you are a makeshift alliance, and we are undisputed and unstoppable, baby. So just so that way I can kind of set that match up for a trios match at the event. But as I say, the main storyline here we're going for is faction warfare. So effectively, Briscoe and FTR is a faction. And of course, if they're trios champions, you want them involved in this as well. So just proper chaos with everything interlooping. So it might look a bit confusing, but it's all meant to kind of... There's even more teams coming to this, by the way, in the future. So it is going to get a bit all over the place. But hopefully, as I say, it gives us so much bigger names going forward and overness going forward. So 49, not fantastic. Cole came across well, and the commentary done what it did. Then we went into Group D and the Super Shane Elite Grand Prix. Britt Baker picks up the win over Yuka Sakazaki in 7:43 by submission. Actually pretty good stuff here, but that is mostly because of Yuka carrying a 73 performance. I'm sorry for jobbing you out so much, but a 66 overall, and Britt is getting closer to the final. Then had a little segment here with John Moxley. He speaks on Bryan Danielson with Wheeler Yuta and his, well, beside him effectively, who doesn't talk. Tonight, Bryan, and I hope you watch this real close, get a good look at what you let go from your grasp, what you didn't trust. This kid is going to be a star. He's a wrestling machine. This kid is going to be the end of you. It's trying to get these promos to sound realistically like the kind of stuff you get from Moxley as well. But our main event is a 6-man tag. It is Lucha Bros and Vikingo versus the Death Riders in the form of Castagnoli, Pac and Yuta. Obviously Mox doing the talking here. But at 63, storyline advances, lose a bit of heat. I'm hoping the main event delivers. I've got a lot of time. Yeah, it was okay. Bout had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as the Death Riders, Castagnoli, Pac and Yuta defeat Vikingo and the Lucha Bros in 22-14 when Yuta submitted El Hijo del Vikingo with a Yuta lock. 76, 54, 75. Most impressive performance was from Rey Fenix, as you would imagine. But pretty good stuff there as well from, well, everybody actually. Yuta was the weakest, but we can build him up. Storyline advances and gains heat. I was kind of hoping, given it the over 20 minutes, we could maybe pop into the 80s, just to give us the best chance of improving pop, because we really need to be hitting A-rated shows now. To gain pop, am I getting that wee bit closer to big? Finish the show. 75 is pretty much on the limit. We increase our popularity in 2 regions. But I'd still say decent stuff, especially when we're carrying as many lower card women's matches. Once we get like proper full storyline stuff for everything, especially utilising our main marquee women, I think we'll be fine. Short term pain for long term gain. Any incidents before we get to Shockwave? Absolutely nothing, so I'll go ahead and book that. We'll see you for Shockwave. So it's quite a quick Shockwave from the Albin Centre, just over 6,500 in attendance. So we'll start off the show with Orange Cassidy, coming out just to cut a little short promo. So he says, yeah, I'm going to make this short and sweet. Swerver match for the title is at Double or Nothing, but how about next Sunday? You get a partner, I guess I'll get a partner, and we'll have a little warm-up preparation for that, I guess. OC then just gives the crowd a thumbs up. So, in truth, it was a very cheap way to get an 86 rated segment. I know I'm going to get that with OC, but at the end, can put them together in a matchup for the Sting Tribute show. I can find them both a partner, and that can build up towards the event. So, looking forward to that one. Storyline advances, gains heat. OC benefits from having a hot catchphrase. So, good start to the show. Hopefully, our main event tonight delivers, which is a Masha Slamovich, Io Shirai. Opening contest in the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix Group B, a wild brawl that saw some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Willow Nightingale defeated Mayu Yamashita in 9:08. This one drew a 70. I think that might be a cap if I have a less than 10-minute matchup, so that's good to know, potentially. But it just gives our AEW talent a victory here, because I don't know how long we'll have Yamashita for, whether that'll be long term. But Willow, yeah, good win that she needed. In the Group D, Serena Deeb defeats Shuka Sakazaki in 9:51 by submission, so another win for Serena. Overall, though, just a 48. Sadly, both of them, as good as they are, still deemed to be pre-show workers, so the match rating, or the segment anyway, took a heavy knock by that. Into the Group D again, Megan Bain defeats Saryu Anoi in 7:33 by pinfall. I made it storytelling, two different types of workers, but we have the dominant Megan Bain pick up the victory in a 60 rated storytelling matchup. Then I had a little segment backstage with Renee Paquette. She's with Athena. She says, "Now Athena, with the way results have went, your group is pretty much down to you and Jamie Hayter. How do you feel about this?" "Well, Renee, I feel confident I have more points, albeit Jamie has more matches left, but that means the pressure is more on her than it is on me." Jamie Hayter conveniently stumbles in and says, "Oh really, Athena? Well, it's a good job that I like pressure. So how don't we see how you handle it? How about we do our little group match, Athena versus Jamie Hayter, 1 week from Sunday at the Sting Tribute show. You could clinch your place in the final, or I could. Shall we?" And then Athena just replies in true Athena fashion, "Oh bitch, you're on." So Athena versus Jamie Hayter, 1 week from Sunday at the Sting Tribute show, and that segment was a 69. In the Briscoes Tag Team Cup, and in Group A, it saw Top Flight defeat the Righteous in 8:42 when Dante Martin pinned Vincent with the red eye. 59-37-65. It's okay, it done its job, giving Top Flight 3 points over the Righteous. We then had a decent matchup in Group C of the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix as Queen Aminata defeated Deonna Purrazzo in 9:26 by pinfall. 63-39-67, so okay stuff there. The strong connection with the young female demographic really helped Queen Aminata. And after the matchup, we had a little segment where we just see Deonna break down in tears before she is cuddled by Taya and Megan Bain. Whilst we know they are heels, they accept it as her last show for a long, long time, so she bows to the crowd, who give her a wee round of applause because they know it'll be a year before we see Deonna Purrazzo back in action. So 53, just a wee realistic segment you would get there. And main event, that's got to be our best women's match yet, I think. And about had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Io Shirai defeats Masha Slamovich in 13:44 with the German suplex hold. The match was designed to be steal the show. They stole the show. 76-52-80. Anything Io Shirai touches is just gold. Fantastic. Knew I could trust them with the main event. I'd be impressed by both of them. And they delivered. So on a very short shockwave, we don't even utilise any of our big hitters. I don't know if you would deem Orange Cassidy as a big hitter, but we get a 77 overall, 86, 80. The rest of it was pretty meh, apart from maybe Willow versus Mayu. We increase our pop in 16 regions. Obviously not too many steroids for the bar Swerve versus Orange Cassidy, but that was one segment for him. So overall, 77. Pretty happy with it. We can get that now, which is good. 4 million profit. We pumped a lot more money into the AEW network, so we're going to be making money like nothing else. Now we don't need to worry about ticket sales, merchandise, anything. Broadcast is going to cover me. It's more so just so I can just invest in stuff. Especially when we get to a bigger size. I really want to build a physical Hall of Fame as soon as we have like 12 workers. Obviously, I'd rather put people in through accolades in game, but obviously circumstances saw Sting, JR, and obviously Brody Lee in. And you can see there, 74, we're 3 off getting to the next level. But obviously we need to work on our more worldwide approach after that. So at the moment, US is a focus, but we do need to look at global expansion. Obviously, no media scrum. We'll jump to the main screen. We'll do a wee look at what happened on this day to see if anything has taken place. And then we'll look at the current standings as we're getting ever so closer to the end of tournaments. It's going to be weird when it's all I'm done with. I think if I do the Grand Prix again, I don't think I'll do it with 40 wrestlers. I think it has took away a lot of storylines for everybody else. But as I say, I know it's something that's going to help me long term with our women's division. Excellent for Shockwave. Great for Collision, which is good to see. Bust up between the former Jinder Mahal and Matt Riddle. I'm not shocked. Ivar is getting rejected, or Ivar, sorry, getting rejected by WWE. It's not someone I would pick up unless... Oh, was it War Machine? No, it wasn't War Machine. Hansen, what was that? What was their names? I can't believe I cannot remember what their names are. Not Chemistry, Personal Details, Raymond Rowe, that was it. It happens we've had these WWE names for so long. Well, his contract's not for over a year, so aye. We won't be sending Ivar. That's fine. No War Machine. Fast Time Mondo and Axel Tischer, that's fine. And Freddie Prinze Jr. never made his company, so he's just done with wrestling. He's left. He's leaving the business effectively. So I got to negotiate. Has left the wrestling business. There you go. Don't think there's anything else that directly affects us too much. So only stuff that's got here, obviously, top of Ivar's contract. Rhea Ripley's gone from alone at Marigold. We had 1 million viewers of Collision, and 6 million, nearly 7 million people watch Shockwave. As I say, it's just purely now because they're broadcasting for the AEW network. You can see they're very big. I just invested more money in it, and I suppose the way we're making profit, we're just going to, I think I might just spit everything on that. I know it's the easy way, but hey, I'm here to win challenges. I'm not here to play ultra super realistic mode here. So, last thing I'll cover is if we just jump here to tournament mode. So you see we've still got a good bit to go in the Tag Team Cup. 3 matches for the Outrunners, but at the moment it is strictly between Aussie Open, Top Flight and the Lucha Bros. Group B, you can see here, a lot of teams still to play some matches, but again, you're probably looking at being down to FTR, Kings of the Black Throne and the MXM Collection. I think the tag division is something we do need to work on eventually. Not too much in Group C. Obviously, Grizzled Young Veterans have yet to really feature. We've not done too much with the Young Bucks or Private Party. The Guns, though, 2 from 3, look decent. But the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix is where it's been at. So in the top group, you can see there, not too many matches to go. In fact, the only people with more than 1 match left to go is Taya Valkyrie and Mi Saruga. But at the moment in time, you can see it is a 3-way tie between Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida. The big one is Mercedes has to face Taya Valkyrie, Toni Storm has to face Sky Blue and Hikaru Shida, and Shida has got to face Toni Storm. So that is interesting. But good showing there for Fujimoto, and you still say, win or lose, it's a good showing from Sky Blue. In a Group B, you can see that at the top, Athena has matches against Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. Jamie Hayter has matches against Athena, Willow Nightingale and Maki Ito to go. Only other people there with multiple matches, so you would say is more so Willow. I think Saraya's got 2, but good performances I would add in from Anna Jay. Still could see some good stuff from Camille and Mayu. And in Group C, multiple matches. I think you still got 4 from Mina Shirakawa, so she definitely, we wouldn't need a miracle, but she could get there. Diona's obviously done all her matches. That was just to make sure we get that over and done with. 3 matches still for Queen Aminata to go, but it's going to be big. Io Shirai versus Mariah May still to go. Io's got another matchup against Mina, and Mariah's got a matchup against Thekla, so they'll be interesting to see. But Thunder Rosa, good showing. She could get to 21 points. Probably needs a miracle. In fact, no, she can't win it because these two need to face each other, so someone will have more than 21 points. And in Group D, Britt Baker has 8 wins from 9. Chris Statlander has 7 wins from 7. You've still got Chris versus Britt. And then, of course, Chris has that extra matchup against Serena Deeb. nobody's really got multiple matches here, or more than two anyway. So you get 2 matches left for Arisa Nakajima, Megan Bayne, and Marina Shafir. But I'd say overall, obviously great performances from Britt and Statlander. Pretty good stuff from Megan Bayne. I'd even say Serena's had a good tournament. And you could argue Sari as well. So that is the conclusion of how the groups stand at the moment. As I say, it definitely should be done by Double or Nothing, like way before, to give us a bit of breathing space and determine our first ever winner, which I'm assuming we'll crown at that event. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. As I say, it'll be a full week of our 4 televised events, and then the episode after that will be the Sting tribute show. So a wee thumbs up, deeply appreciated. Let us know how you feel about the save, how you get on with your own saves. And as always, check out the Fantasy Bookers subreddit, the Grey Dog Software forums, twdb.com, and bethebooker.net. This was Maxwell. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye bye.